Well, let's start focusing on what's going on out here, people. First of all, the state of New Hampshire, if you know anything about the Constitution, First Amendment right, you have the right to video and a witness as well as audio when police are out in public and they're doing wrong. Well, it just seems to be that Greenland, New Hampshire police chief, she put in writing to me that it's illegal to do that. And so I take it a step further to the Attorney General's office, and then a little bit further than that, securing an attorney out of Manchester, New Hampshire. I've got a lot of news updates that I'm going to share with you. Seems how a lot of you don't watch the news. I'm going to tell you what's going on in the state of Maine with the police. I'm going to tell you what's going on with the Vermont and the police. I'm going to tell you what's going on with New Hampshire and the police. And I'm going to tell you about some murders and disappearances, as well as I know for a fact who's involved, and I'm going to show you the proof through articles that have been sent out to the public dating back to 1995. I've got pictures of articles with names and information, as well as I've got the statements from the police and the notarized statements that I gave the police, as well as interaction by emails and audio recordings. And mind you, first constitutional right, freedom of speech. Don't forget it. Yeah, that was me in the corner. Very upset. Left pregnant by an imposter. Is he still in Dover, New Hampshire, Mass Brigham Hospital cancer treatment as an employee? Everybody ought to be asking that question if you're a patient there or have a relative or a loved one that goes there. Just saying. All law enforcement are friends. This article disappeared off the radar. This is your current Department of Justice bonds bail commissioner for Hillsborough County, New Hampshire. The significance of you knowing about Jeff Noyce is the fact that he came from Northeast Kingdom, Vermont, and nobody's allowed to know where he's at as of this day of April 14th, 2024, and still noted to be the bonds commissioner for Hillsborough County area in New Hampshire. Imagine that, until 2028. Confirmed by the court, by the way. This is when the same Jeff Noyce pulled a gun on me in Island Pond, Vermont, February 27th, 2021. I sent this out, public notice, and what happened to it? Imagine that. It disappeared. I would suggest you call the Brattleboro Reformer and ask them about William Asher and Jeffrey Noyce. Call the Judicial Misconduct Board in Augusta, Maine, and ask them what happened to all this paperwork. Those were filings against a few certain judges in the state of Maine, as well as the state of Vermont. Perhaps call Somerset County Courthouse, ask for Cheryl, and remind her that a lot of paperwork came up missing, as well did my daughter. Can you ask the police how these pictures got out onto social media and surfaced, waking me up in the middle of the night, and then police from the state of Maine coming and telling me that my daughter was deceased? No, she is not. But I was told that, and that's all I had to go on. So I relayed that message to everyone, and still nobody listened. But where's Brianna today? Good fucking question for Greenland Police Chief Tara Tucker to be answering, as well as Sumter County, Seminole County, Lake County, and Vermont State Police. Same Vermont Sergeant Daniel Lynch involved. Kayla was found dead, shot in the head. The same evening, I got messages telling me that she had been shot and where to find her. I turned all that information, as well as I've called Vermont State Police and I've questioned them again. Where's all the information? And she says, Kim, I've passed it on. That's right, all lives matter. So why is it that my daughter's still missing? Obviously, Vincent and Lucy didn't want either one of us ending up in court, and Brianna's still missing. This is Lake County, hiding information pertaining to Brianna being a endangered and missing persons report. That's right, a endangered, not well-being. Because why? When you call in a well-being, they Baker Acted you. And they Baker Acted Bree to try to silence her. There was just a few other girls that disappeared. One found burned to death, a body. And a lot of police officers involved. So where's my daughter? Well, I have good reason to believe that it was all conspired throughout Lake County, and I made everybody aware of it. And again, Brianna's still missing. Here's a report of one time that they declined to help her. And believe me when I tell you, all of it's going to come. It's going to come to surface, and there's going to be a solution. It's called abolish the government, hold up the rights of the government to be overthrown. When they do wrong, you replace them, just like you would anybody else. It's all about business, isn't it? Your economical growth, putting everybody else with common sense out into the pack of wolves, and we're going to come back leading. And just so you know, my address is verified many times over. But here's the deal, because there's so much frivolous and malicious activity going on with the police and the politicians in the state of Vermont, Maine, and straight down to Florida that I'm aware of. Isn't that why I got burned out twice? My homes get burned. They try to make it so I'm homeless on my own property in Garland, Maine. It's not going to happen like that. This is soon to be over as well. And here's proof that I filed a Freedom of Information Act with the State of Maine Records Department for the Maine State Police. And lo and behold, I still haven't received that information. So if anybody else is having a hard time getting your records by request about all the frivolous activity and misconduct happening to you or somebody else that you're aware of, well, there you go. There's proof in fact that I filed what they sent me. And I'm still being declined any information. But again, they're still filing shit against me and all their little do boys and girls like Good Person and a Brenda Rowell and a few others out here. That's right. On social media, all been listed again in further reports. And that's why, again, Garland, Maine is being lawsuited. And I don't care if I get nothing out of it. But the fact is, it's going to be recognized. And nobody's going to want to come to Garland, Maine. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I'm tired of the bullshit. Now I'm going to play you some recordings to prove that these people are very well aware of the disappearances and everything that's been happening.